Hello and welcome to today's training. My name is Eleni and I am your teacher and your channel here. Today I'm going to be talking about intuition and how you can develop your intuition as well. Now, what is intuition? How I like to describe intuition is that feeling, that knowing, even though it doesn't make sense, that little inkling or that big feeling in your body that just doesn't go away. Intuition is something that is not always logical. It doesn't always make sense, but it is something that we can tune into, tap into, and further develop to hone in on our superpowers, our psychic powers, and also our connection to the divine or source or to God as well. Now, from a young age, I have been highly intuitive. And from a little girl, I was always fascinated with crystals, with magic, with dragons, with tarot cards, oracle cards. I think the first thing that I ever bought with pocket money was a moonstone crystal, a very feminine crystal. And I think I was like 8 or 9. My chakra book that I bought, I think I was 12 years old, and it was like I was born into this world knowing that there was more to life than what we could physically see in front of us. And over the years, I developed my intuition. I practiced with friends, on family, and with partners. And then my other gift started to come through of channeling light language the year that I gave birth to my daughter about 8 years ago now. And so, yeah, it's definitely been a journey, and I've always loved giving guidance to people and helping them move deeper into the depths of who they are, into their heart, into their bodies, and helping them clear out of the parts of them that blocks their own intuition, that blocks their own gifts. And so in this way, they become a clear channel for the divine, and their clairvoyance opens up, their clairsenses are activated, they become clear seeing, clear knowing. They just really start to trust a lot more. And I believe that this is one of the most important aspects of developing intuition, is really starting to learn how to flex that trust muscle, to really trust ourselves when something feels off, even though on the outside it may look good or normal or okay. And especially if, with people and with making decisions and like moving forwards with things or not moving forwards with things, it's really important to really, I think, have a balance between both intuition as well as the logic side of things, right? And this is where guidance from people can really help, people that have already developed their intuition, their clairvoyance, their clairsenses, and also have a clear channel to the divine and to these answers. I feel can help others really hone in on the parts of them that are holding back. Because I also do know a lot of people that know they have these gifts and like they don't know how to come out with them, or it's like there's like this psychic closet, this oh my goodness, they're like this closet psychic that doesn't want to come out and share more of who they are, in fear of judgment, in fear of what people are going to say. They're going to think I'm crazy, they're going to think I'm a fraud, they're going to think I'm overcharging if I charge this much money, and it's all about the money and all the things. And, what I have found over the years is that when we take that next step that we're guided to take, for example, for the purpose of this training, we start to really take on and step into the identity of psychic or intuitive healer or channel, when we choose to step into that and make the internal decision to step into that space, not only take the action steps to do it, but to internally make the decision, a lot of the bullshit of who we are not collapses around us, and we become more of who we are very quickly. And I'll give another example here. Say in your business, and say you get an intuitive message or like a hit of like, I need to do this. I'm not sure why, but I feel like I need to do this. And it's to like delete a whole lot of programs, or it's to like get rid of a staff member, or it's something. When we trust in those decisions, we collapse a lot of who we are not, and we find ourselves deepening into alignment, deepening into our purpose, and deepening into trust. It's when we hold back on these next steps or on guidance that confusion continues, and confusion keeps us feeling foggy and not feeling clear in the path ahead. So, sometimes when you're like, I just want to know what's ahead in the next 6 to 12 months. And it's like, you can't see a vision, you can't see anything. There's like no clarity there. It's because you're looking too far ahead into the future, and those next few steps that you need to take, whether that's to look after yourself more, whether that's to let go of that relationship, whether that's to eat that healthy food, buy that health product, connect with that person, whatever it is, there are steps that need to be taken first for that next level, or for that vision, or for that clarity to then open up. And this is where we need to trust. These are the next steps that we need to trust. And so when it comes to trusting things that don't make sense, this is where it can get a little bit scary, because it's like, think of yourself like at the edge of a cliff, and it's like, what you're doing sometimes when it's a really big decision that you need to make, it's like you're jumping off a cliff and you don't know what's going to happen. Like, if I jump off this, am I going to die? Am I going to live? And a lot of the time, you're going to go through a death, not a physical death, but you're going to die. There are parts of an identity that are going to die, so you can step into this new space, into this new identity, right? And in this way, like, life becomes more beautiful because your energy starts to open up. You start to feel more things, and your sensitivities are really activated as well. So like, even for myself, I was always a very sensitive child. Even today at 35 years old, I still get people say, gosh, you are so sensitive. Some people say it in a way that's a little bit like, harden the fuck up. Other people say it as like, wow, you're just so sensitive. It's so beautiful. Like, it just depends on people's perception of things. But, I used to see my sensitivities like as a really bad thing. Like, people were always saying it as like so negative, because like there'd be something happy, they'd be looking at it and I'd cry. I'd be something sad and I'd cry. I'd get angry and I'd cry afterwards. And I still do that. Like, I blocked myself off for several years there during a traumatic period of my life, and there was like no feeling. It was like numbness, and I didn't want to feel anything. I closed off my channel, and it was just 3D, nothing else existed. And I suffocated myself. Like, I suffocated my gifts. I suffocated what wanted to move through me, and the messages that I was getting, and I wasn't in my authenticity. And so I wasn't in my alignment. And so I wasn't receiving the love that I desired. I wasn't receiving the abundance that I desired. I wasn't receiving all the things, because abundance follows alignment. And authenticity, being in your authenticity, is also part of being in your alignment as well. So for me to step deeper into my purpose, I had to choose myself. I had to choose who I really am. I had to choose like who I wanted to actually be, in all areas of my life. And my intuition always comes with me. Like, first impressions for me with people are like everything, and some people like say to me, you're just so judgmental. And I'm like, no, I know, like I can just read energy. Like I just know. And my clients and the people that, come to me for guidance and to activate their own intuition and gifts, they come into my space and then they come, like we do some work and they come back and they're just like, I just know. It's like this thing that just happens. It's like, I just know, like, I don't need to doubt myself anymore. Like I trust myself. And so it's really important to heal up any fractures or any lack of self-trust that you have from things that have happened in the past, from things that people have said about you and you're afraid of, like to really become solid within, to really become solid in who you are and totally okay with that, and really look after your energy and your environment and who you have in your space, who and what you have in your space. Like for me, like my intuition opens up when I'm by the water and the sun hitting my face at the same time. Like you can't get a more intuitive, activated, clairvoyant woman than me next to the water with the sun on my face. Like everything comes through and all the things. And so what do you need in your environment to really activate you? Where do you feel like the pulse of life moving through you? Like you may need flowers in your home. You may need a certain type of smell or scent in your home. Like what do you need in your environment? Like you may also need a certain deck of cards, and you may be guided to throw an old deck out to let go of that old energy and bring in some new energy. Like this is where, again, we trust our guidance. We trust that step. We just keep following. And this is also where beautiful manifestation happens as well, because manifestation has its steps, right? It's like we set an intention for something, but to have that manifestation manifest, we are going to be given steps to take for it to come into our physical reality. Now, I hope this training has given you some golden nuggets. I hope this training has activated you, and I hope this training has opened you up more to yourself, more to who you are, and even more to taking your next steps in trust. See you next time. My name is Eleni, and see you later.